What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the PodiumPushers podcast with Justin and Brandon. We have never been more back. Formula One is so back. The summer break is finally over. It is race week. Once again, we are here to predict everything that is going to happen in the Netherlands for the Dutch Grand Prix. I am feeling fantastic, feeling so excited that Formula One is back this week. Brandon, how are you feeling?
Feeling great. It doesn't feel real that the summer break is finally over, but it sure is, and I am pumped to be back.
Yeah, this felt like the longest summer break in F1 history, probably because we had a random 3-week break for no reason right before the summer break, but we are back. It is serious business. We've got 10 races left, an incredible championship battle on track, a championship battle off track, and our predictions. So we are bringing the heat today. Let's get it started with our driver of the weekend. I have gone with Lando Norris as my driver of the weekend for the Dutch Grand Prix. I think that win over Oscar Piastri in Hungary gave Lando Norris incredible momentum going into the summer break. He already is a driver that performs really well coming out of breaks. I think that's when he's in his best mental state. He's riding momentum. He's in a good place after the break. I expect that to continue. He performed well here last year and secured the victory. I'm expecting Lando Norris to have an incredible weekend here at the Dutch Grand Prix.
I think that's a great pick. Lando had a fantastic weekend at the Dutch Grand Prix last year, so I see no reason why he won't have a great weekend this year. I have gone with Pierre Gasly for my driver of the weekend. Pierre is somebody who I think has had a fantastic season so far, and he's kind of flown under the radar a little bit with how good his season has been. I don't think people realize how bad that Alpine really is. And Pierre's doing great. So I think he's going to have another great weekend here in the Netherlands.
Hey, don't forget, Pierre Gasly once secured a podium at the Dutch Grand Prix in 2023, so cannot count out Pierre. I think people are finally starting to realize how bad the Alpine is because they currently sit P10 in their constructor standings. But for what he's done as a season as a whole, I do think it is underappreciated. I forgot to mention at the beginning, I am currently winning 34-31. Didn't want that to slide under the radar. Coming out of the summer break, I have the lead after being behind all season long, so I'm feeling great about that. Back marker of the weekend for the Dutch Grand Prix, I have gone with Lance Stroll. Didn't really know who to pick for this one, and so I said, a Lance Stroll backmarker prediction has never failed me before. Aston Martin is coming off of a fairly good performance in Hungary. No shot Lance Stroll has 2 good performances in a row. Lock him in for backmarker of the weekend at the Dutch Grand Prix.
Yeah, Lance got used to vacation. I think he'll probably still be in vacation mode when the weekend rolls around. For my backmarker of the weekend, I'm going with Yuki Tsunoda, which, again, probably has never failed me either. But I really do think that Red Bull is just kind of slow, and I think Red Bull is probably going to start to put all of their resources towards the 2026 car because it is a big regulation change, and they haven't had a great season so far. So in order to keep Max Verstappen happy, they need to build a great car next year. So all that to be said, I think Yuki's going to have a terrible weekend.
Yeah, there's a small part of me that hopes Yuki Tsunoda is going to come back from this summer break and the momentum's going to be on his side. He's going to be a rejuvenated driver. We haven't seen this Yuki Tsunoda since the second round of the season. And then there's another part of me, a much bigger part of me, that knows that's not going to happen. So that's probably a pretty good pick for backmarker of the weekend. Pole position for the Dutch Grand Prix. I've gone with Lando Norris. McLaren, still the fastest car. I've already said how I think Lando Norris is going to perform incredible at the Dutch Grand Prix. Coming off the summer break, got the momentum. Everything is in Lando Norris's corner to perform well. I'm putting him on pole this weekend.
I think that's a great pick. Honestly, I'm going to switch it up here right on the fly. I had put down Lando Norris as my pole prediction, but I'm going to go with Oscar Piastri just because I love Oscar, and I do think that he is going to have a good weekend as well. I don't think he's going to have the best weekend he's ever had in Formula One, but I do think it'll be good enough to get pole.
Yeah, there was a couple seconds extra pause between when you started talking and I finished. I said, I bet he's going to change his answer to Oscar Piastri. You start talking and change your answer to Oscar Piastri. You just can't help yourself to put Oscar Piastri on pole, but it is not a bad prediction. Oscar has been having a wonderful season. Podium predictions for the Dutch Grand Prix. In third place, I've gone with Max Verstappen. This feels foolish because we just saw that Red Bull maybe have its worst weekend of the year at the Hungarian Grand Prix, but it's Max Verstappen at home. Can never count him out. We've seen him do crazy things in that car. We've seen him do great things at this track. He almost managed to beat Lando Norris last year, took the lead off the line, and then unfortunately was no match for that McLaren. So when the McLaren's better and the that's got to be in the past. It is just so funny to me that we hyped up 2025 as this incredible season. We're going to have a 4-team championship fight, and every race it's like, we're predicting McLaren 1-2. Which one are we going to put first? At least we have a good inter-team championship fight. In P1 for the Dutch Grand Prix, you probably guessed it, I have gone with Lando Norris. It just makes sense. I put him as my driver of the weekend. I put him as my pole prediction. I think Lando Norris is going to have an incredible weekend all weekend long, come out of the summer break firing, close that championship gap down to, if this prediction came true, it would be 1 point with 9 races remaining, which would be insane. I think Lando Norris wins the Dutch Grand Prix.
I agree with you, Justin. I think that Lando Norris is going to win the race as well. I think it'll be a great race to watch. I think this is a good track to have a close battle at the front for the win. So I think Lando's going to come out on top.
I would love to see a battle at the front. This is just one of those tracks. It's an old school track. It looks beautiful on television to see the cars go around. I'd love to see a strategy fight again between the McLarens. I cannot wait to see who comes out on top. Our one push-in prediction for the Dutch Grand Prix, I have predicted that one of the rookies crashes during qualifying. The Dutch circuit, Zandvoort, is very unique as a track. It's got some banked corners. It's got a lot of elevation changes. It's very narrow, very unforgiving. Grass and walls are around every corner. We have seen crashes from inexperienced drivers before. We've seen crashes from experienced drivers before around this track, especially when they start pushing. There's always a chance of weather when we go to the Netherlands. I would not be surprised if one of the rookies puts it in the wall this weekend during qualifying.
It's entirely possible. This is the track where Daniel Ricciardo had a crash that essentially started the downfall of his Formula One career. So sad, but it's okay. My one push-in prediction is that Carlos Sainz comprehensively outperforms Alex Albon over the course of the weekend. In my bold predictions for the rest of the season, I said that Carlos Sainz is going to have a bounce-back second half of the season. I think it starts here this weekend at the Dutch Grand Prix.
Yeah, if Alex Albon beats Carlos Sainz in one practice session, I'm throwing this prediction out. No point for Brandon. I'm just kidding. I'll be nicer than that. We'll evaluate when we recap the race. The fans pushing predictions at M_Yamakoen. Isaac Hadjar returns to form and finishes P8 at Araco. McLaren 1-2 and George takes P3, and at Eggs, Max Verstappen finishes on the podium and splits the McLarens. I could see all of those happening. I think as Isaac Hadjar returning to form, finishing P8, that feels like where that car should be. And then, putting both McLarens on the podium, it's just a shot in the dark on which one of them is going to take the last podium spot. So either one of those two predictions could take place. But I think those were some great predictions from the fans.
Yeah, I totally agree. We've got a good set of predictions this weekend, and hopefully most of them come true for me.
Yeah, well, I hope they come true for me, but that's okay. We can disagree on that for sure. That is all we've got for our predictions for the Dutch Grand Prix. As always, thank you for watching or listening to another episode of the PodiumPushers podcast. Before we get out of here, Brandon, what are your parting podium thoughts?
I'm excited to see cars on track again. It, like I said at the beginning of the episode, it does not feel real yet, and it probably won't until I see cars on track. But I am so excited. It's going to be amazing second half of the season.
It doesn't feel like race week, but it is indeed race week, and I cannot wait to see cars on track in the Netherlands. Thank you for watching and listening to another episode of the PodiumPushers podcast. Before you go, be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. We will see you next week to react to the Dutch Grand Prix. But until then, have a great day, and God bless.
See ya.